What's up everybody, it's Paul from Boosted Films, and in this video I'm going to talk about taking my 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance out car camping. And realistically, this is mostly going to be a product review of two different items that I found very useful for car camping. One of them being a very good mattress that's made directly for the car, and the other one is actually a cooler slash freezer that's also made directly for the car that fits in the sub trunk. So I'm going to review the pros and cons of both of these items, what I found worked since I really did use both these items while camping. But of course, to help pay the bills, there are going to be affiliate links available if you do end up wanting to purchase either one of these items. I'm going to put a link in the video description down below, and I'll also pin the top comment. So let's jump into it. I just picked up this pretty awesome refrigerator slash freezer for my Tesla Model 3. What's really cool about this one is it fits right in the sub trunk of your Tesla. It holds about 20 liters worth of stuff, and it has a Bluetooth control app that's pretty nice. Obviously, installing it's super easy. We just open up our trunk and then remove this panel for our sub trunk. Take anything out of our sub trunk that's in there. This cooler's got some nice handles that you can use to lift it up and just set it right in place. It fits in there pretty much perfectly here. And it would work with your OEM cover. It does fit, but I think just for airflow management here, they do provide you with this nice vented cover that also comes with a cooler that you can use instead, and that way your refrigerator is going to be less likely to get hot. Fits just as flush and nice as the OEM piece, so that's great. Simple to wire up. Of course, you just plug this end into the cooler and then run the wire up to your cigarette lighter plug-in. This is a 12/24 volt plug-in, and it does have 3 different levels of battery use that you can set it to as well within the app, which is very nice. Once I plugged it in, of course, I had to do my very own testing, and within 20 minutes, it went from 77 degrees inside the cooler down to 32 degrees. I will say this was a nice day outside. It was only 63 degrees outside, and the car was mostly in the shade. So this was pretty good testing circumstances for it, but just to make it that cool in 20 minutes is pretty good. Now, when I did take this camping, what I found that worked well was actually to still bring 2 coolers. I used one regular cooler just for drinks, and then I used this Frunk style cooler for anything that was food related. Depending on how long you're camping, of course, this one just might not be big enough for all your needs, depending on how many beverages you plan to bring. And of course, to keep this running at night or when the car is off, potentially, you want to bring up the main menu of your Tesla by hitting the car in the lower left-hand corner, then go into the charging menu, and then just turn on Keep Accessory Power On. That way, if you are camping in a tent or not using camp mode within your car, you can just make sure that you still have power going to your cooler. And when I did use this for camping, I did keep track of how much mileage I lost just by leaving this plugged in overnight. So this was a night when I did not sleep in the car, so all I did was leave this accessory power on. I had the cooler set to probably about 40 degrees around there. And over that 8-hour period from the night to the morning, it said I lost about 4 miles of range. So that's not bad in my book. That's almost all I have for this cooler. The final thing I want to talk about is this grate slash cover that they give you. Just some tips for this. Make sure you have the curved edges of this grate where the handle is portion, the handle portion in the middle. And then mine was kind of squished together a little bit and a bit tricky to get together. So I utilized a screwdriver, had to slide it in and then slide it down. So you will have to put this cover together. It might take a little bit of patience. And again, just make sure you have it lined up so that one end of it's flat and the front edge of it is curved, and then it should fit just right in your Tesla. And that's all for the cooler. Now we're going to move on to the mattress. This is a Lost Horizon mattress. And again, made specifically to fit in the Model 3. I believe Model Y as well would fit. Pretty much the same. Does come with a nice bag that you can put it back in to carry it around easily, and I believe, waterproof it a bit. The mattress I bought did not come with this pump, but Lost Horizon does make this pump that can suck or blow air, so this is actually really nice. I recommend getting this either way as well. Even though this is a self-inflating mattress, it's very nice to have that pump. They advertise this as fitting in your front trunk or frunk, and yes, it does fit in your front trunk when it's brand new. However, I will say I don't think it's ever going to go in my front trunk again because it just is very hard to make small enough after you actually use this mattress to get it, compacted enough to actually fit in there ever again. So this is when I first bought it. It did fit in my trunk, but then even after using that pump to suck all the air out of it and roll it up as tight as I could, it was just enough where, you know, I probably could have forced it down to make it work, but I didn't want to bend the hood or anything. There's a pretty big gap there, as you can see. So I don't plan on actually running it in my frunk all the time. Setting it up is pretty easy. We're just going to fold down our seats. Each side of your seat does have that latch that you can pull towards the top portion to fold down your seats. And then, of course, it's as simple as taking the mattress out of the bag, unclipping it, and then rolling it out. So again, this will self-inflate, so you can open up the cover. And inside of it, there is this nice mechanism that says inflate and deflate on it, and you just spin it around depending on if you want it to inflate or deflate. A little bit hard to see in the video, but it'll be obvious once you have it that, you know, the side that says inflate and the side that says deflate. So I just did a quick time-lapse video of this self-inflating. This was not using the pump. So again, this will work without the pump if you're in a pinch or just, you know, don't have one, don't want to buy one. This will just self-inflate and fill up nicely. But another thing I really want to talk about here is the rear seats. And when you fold them down, the back part of the rear seats, as you can see, are tilted upward. So if you are a picky sleeper and it's tough for you to sleep at some type of angle, you can remove the rear seat, the bottom portion of it, fairly easily. I'm going to show you that here. So it'll sit nice and flat like this. So entirely up to you if you want to go through the extra effort of removing the bottom rear seat while you're camping, but it is a nice option to have, again, if you're just a picky sleeper or it's just tough for you to sleep at a bit of an angle. So there are these clips underneath the front of the lower part of the seat that you should be able to feel in here. You can get your finger in and then reach and grab and pull it towards the driver's side of the vehicle, and that will release the latch. There's one on each side of the seat. I'm going to show you just with the seat out entirely what you're doing here. You're just obviously pulling that locking mechanism out, and then you can just lift up the seat. So we're going to do that on both sides. So we can lift up the seat, and we got to pull it up enough to get it out from where the seatbelts clip in, and then pull it forward, but not too far because there is some connections on the driver's side here. So moving this out, this is a shot from the passenger side, moving the seat out a little bit and then pointing to the spot where the connections are. Again, this is 2023. Yours might not be exactly the same, but most likely there's two connections, probably just for like heated seats and like safety stuff. But you should be able to easily just unplug both of those connections. And once those two connections are unplugged, you can simply pull your seat out of the way. Sometimes those clips are a pain in the butt to get out, not going to lie, so you might want to have a flathead screwdriver or something available if it's hard for you to squeeze and pull those at the same time. And just a close-up shot of those two connections that we unplugged. And now you can see when we fold down the top portion of the rear seats, they will just go down completely flat. So if you need that, now you know. So this time we're going to unroll the mattress again, and we're going to utilize the air pump this time to air it up. Of course, making sure the setting on that valve is set the right way, so it's set to inflate. You can see it's already kind of starting to self-inflate already before I even get the pump hooked up to it. But we're going to hook up that pump and supercharge our speed of inflation. Now, if you're totally new to camp mode, you just need to hit the temperature on your screen. And then on the top 4 buttons, there is one for camp. And you just hit the camp button. And now your car is set to camp mode. So this will keep the air circulating while you're sleeping in your car. This will keep the car at a set temperature. Of course, depending on how hot or cold the climate is where you are, it might use more of your battery depending on what the temperature difference is. But I believe I read it will never use more than like 20% of your battery, just to make sure you could obviously drive far enough to charge the car the next day, but someone might want to fact check me on that. Here's a shot inside the car, just showing how well this really does fit. You will potentially want to move your seats all the way forward or forward a bit more than normal to give you some of that extra room for the mattress. But as you can see, it's designed to sit snugly right inside the Model 3 here. I was a bit concerned that I might kind of bang my knees like this while you're sleeping if you go to roll over. Honestly, it never really happened at all while I was sleeping. And I did actually like having kind of this rear trunk area, or this rear deck lid, I should say. I kind of used that as a shelf, so to set things on while I was sleeping and have easy access to them, that was kind of nice as well. So I'm going to go ahead and deflate this mattress again. I will say also I'm a side sleeper, and usually I cannot sleep on my side while camping, but this mattress pad was thick enough that I was able to sleep on my side and not have shoulder or neck pain. So that was a very nice perk of using this mattress to sleep on. I did use the same mattress one of the days I camped and just put it in my tent because it was nice enough weather to sleep in my tent as well. So obviously this mattress can be used in more places than just a Tesla. Now to use this pump, you just have to press the button twice and then it turns on. And again, you can use the side that will take the air out of the mattress, and it's kind of nice. It just kind of plugs right in. So we're going to plug that in, and it's going to extract all the air, take it out, and bring this mattress down to a smaller size so we can roll it up. I'm not the best at compacting these things and getting them as small as possible, but I thought I did a pretty good job on the second time as well, especially when I used the pump to get it down. It is nice that it has these straps too that you can tighten up. But again, I tried to put this in my front trunk afterwards, and it would not fit. So I wouldn't plan on putting it in your front trunk very often, unless you're really good at compacting things. So now we need to put our rear seat back in. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to tip up the back portion of our rear seat and just get that up in place. I had the wire for my cooler still in the way, so I got that wire out of the way for that sub trunk cooler. But then we simply want to set the bottom portion of our rear seat in place, and we're going to get it close enough to reconnect those plugins, of course, on the driver's side. So once those are close enough, you should be able to slide that and plug it in. Apologize if you weren't able to see everything super well. I did have to hold the side of the plug with one hand and then press it in with the other, and that seemed to work the best. But once those are plugged in, the main thing after that is your seatbelts, and especially the one longer seatbelt. You want to make sure that that's kind of pulled through one of those holes before you start lining things up to push it in. But otherwise, once you do have those lined up enough, you should be able to tip the seat upward where the front side of the seat is up a little bit, and then you're tipping the back side of the seat in place. And as long as those latches or the points of connection for the seatbelts are lined up, it should push in pretty well. So hopefully this is pretty easy for you, but again, just make sure you got those things lined up. And once it is lined up appropriately, and then those locking points should be lined up as well towards the front, you should just be able to push the seat down, and it should lock in place. So of course, if you give this seat a little bit of a tug towards the front area, it shouldn't just lift right back up because it should be latched in place. So there you have it, everybody. That's everything I have for this video. But of course, I'm just a guy on YouTube who likes to document what he does. So if you think I did anything wrong or could have did something better, or if you just have questions about these specific products as well, just go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. And again, of course, as a friendly reminder, I will have affiliate links. So if you do want to buy these products and help out my channel, you can buy them in the links down below. But as always, this is Paul from Boosted Films saying thanks so much for watching. I just want to say that domestic violence is never okay. If you or someone you know is experiencing issues with a partner and doesn't feel safe, please visit the website thehotline.org or call 1-800-799-SAFE.